In Underhanded, the new novel by Jim Billman, Sonny Kristoff shares his adventures during the changing times after World War II with a refreshing inside-out look at history. Written from the perspective of men's fast-pitch softball, this was the time when baseball's little brother became America's most popular team sport. But unlike baseball, its imperfect dimensions brought about its demise. Order Underhanded on Amazon. Underhanded by longtime Southeast Iowa native Jim Billman. Available now. We are live. We're doing the Iowa Music Showcase live at Barnwired. Who's excited to be here? Well, there's, all right, woo! Wow, standing ovation right now. Wow. We're doing the Iowa Music Showcase live at Barnwired. We've got my buddy Scott Kirkhart here beside us. And before we get going, we actually don't have anybody from Barnwired willing to get up on camera today. But you know who we do have waiting in the wings? We've got the one and only hot Neil Crott. And Neil's back. You've been away for a while, pal.
Yeah, just been chilling.
So you have been nominated to be the voice. You're just the mystery voice here today.
That works for me.
Yeah. Tell us what's happening here at Barnwired.
Oh my, all kinds of greatness. Special today is crab salad, either on a croissant or a bagel with cottage cheese or your choice of side. Sandwich is marinated chicken breast. Soup is chicken rice. There's also a promo starting today. So for all of you, there's a promo. It goes all through March. Anybody who spends $50 on store merchandise, not though in the Country Grit store, will receive $3 off coupon for the Joe app. Now, the Joe app would be part of the coffee app thingy deal.
All right. So the Joe app, make sure you download that on your phone and take advantage of the deals here at Barnwired. Well, thank you, Neil. That was wonderful.
It was so nice to be back.
God bless you. Neil Crott, everybody. Oh, all right. Oh, we're doing it here at Barnwired, the Iowa Music Showcase, live on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X. Do you do Twitter?
No, I don't tweet.
Not a whole lot of people do, I don't think. I might have to do away with my Twitter. It's just kind of sitting there and not doing a whole lot.
I have a hard enough time doing TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and everything else.
The old TikTok. So we're hanging out with Scott Kirkhart. Scott, glad to finally meet you.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally. That wasn't been 20 years, I think.
We're old friends, and we've never met each other till today.
Right, yeah.
No, we've been Facebook friends. We've known of each other for, we were guessing probably at least 5 years. And when I was in radio, I constantly was harassing you to come down and see me on my radio show, but that never worked out. But you're here. You're here in Sigourney today.
Yeah, I worked for FedEx for so long, and I could never take the time off to come down. We were always so busy.
You could just deliver some packages to
I could have. But so.
Yeah, go ahead and tell people where you're from.
A little small town of Manson, Iowa, just 16 miles west of Fort Dodge.
Okay, so more northwest-ish Iowa.
Yep, north central.
Yeah, okay. So, you made a little bit of a trip. How long was your drive down today?
Well, it wasn't too bad because I came from, did a writers around yesterday at Brick and Ivy in Altoona.
All
so
right.
it wasn't too bad this morning.
Okay.
But, otherwise it would have been about 3 hours, I think.
So you might win the award for the longest overall trip
I'll take it.
To the Iowa
What
Music
do we
Showcase.
get?
A hug.
Oh, wow.
And you already got that.
I already got the hug. Yeah, we're good.
We were hugging it out earlier. Now, you come from the part of the state that produces actually a handful of Iowa country musicians. Because maybe name drop some of the folks up that way.
Jesse Wilson.
Yes.
Corey Waller and the Wicked Things.
Yeah.
From the same town that I'm in. You know, I mean, Jeremy Ober, you got Ron Lee Kings up in that area.
Is Clint Riedel?
Clint Riedel
up around
yep. The Clint
Speaking
Riedel
of
himself is he only lives 7 miles away from me in the little. He's the Duke and Duchess of Barnum, Iowa. They are.
Barnum, Iowa.
Yep, Barnum, Iowa.
And where's Bailey? Barnum and Bailey.
They missed the circus a long time ago.
But yeah, so that part of the state is very active with country music. In fact, I think, speaking of Corey Waller and the Wicked Things, I know at least a couple of them are going to be performing along with Tyler Richton and the High Bank Boys tomorrow night in Brooklyn, Iowa.
Yep.
I don't know why I gave that a free plug, but I just did. So,
well, hey,
there you go.
If you get a chance, go out and see them, man. They're all good friends of mine, and they're fantastic. So,
yeah, the Iowa country music scene is hopping here in our great state of Iowa, and we're glad to have you hanging out here today. Now, you also lined it up where you actually have a gig here in Southeast Iowa later on tonight, right?
I do. Yep, I'm playing in Eldon at Chami's. Is it Chami's?
Yeah.
Chami's Bar in Eldon, Iowa.
Chami's in Eldon. So if you're in the area, that's more down towards Ottumwa, a little bit south of here. But, if you want to head to Chami's in Eldon, you can see Scott Kirkhart if you like what you hear today. So you're up around Manson. They have, I'll give another free plug. They have that big event, what is it called? Crater?
Crash My Crater.
Yeah, Crash My Crater.
Yes.
So tell us about Crash My Crater.
Well, Crash My Crater was started right around 7 years ago, I think. My neighbor, and he owns Shoreside Pub and Grub, Jesse Grossnickel, and he's always been a big music lover, you know. Okay. So we had Logan Mize come to Manson, Iowa when he was with the old record label, you know, and they kind of dinked him around for a while. And he came and played Smithfield, and I mean we've got some major acts that came to Manson. And this year we got Warren Zeiders coming to Manson, Iowa.
Wow.
Yep.
And he's definitely on the rise right now. He was starting to create a buzz last year, but now he's really, as far as like mainstream.
And Pretty Little Poison just hit number one on the Music Row charts, and that's finally, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and did they have Big and Rich there? Am I just thinking of things?
No, Big and Rich was in Fort Dodge. Okay. We had Riley Green, Travis Denning.
Yeah. So some legit names. Why do they call it Crash My Crater?
Well, apparently Manson sits on top of the crater that helped destroy the dinosaurs millions and millions of years ago. So that's what they said. We have natural soft water in Manson, Iowa. Like they have to. Yeah, it is pretty. We don't have water softeners in our town at all. Different. But we used to be the natural soft water capital of the world. Back in the 70s, they had a big sign there, and it was just kind of a neat deal. And then they figured out this is why, because a crater crashed here millions of years ago, and so they started calling Manson Greater Crater Days was our town celebration. Well, Jesse's like, we're going to have a concert during Crater Days, and we're going to call it Crash My Crater. So I was like, cool, let's do it. And there it is.
Now we are all a lot smarter about Manson, Iowa. Who knew?
Manson's a good town.
I'd never get up that way.
Yeah, the home of John Falloon. He used to play out for Iowa in 91 Rose Bowl team. Yeah.
Neil's agreeing. Neil knows nothing about sports.
Go sports, huh, Neil?
Sports ball.
Yeah.
All right, we've talked long enough. Let's get into some music. You've got your guitar in hand.
I do.
We're doing original tunes today. What song do you have for us first?
I'm going to do. We wrote this about a year ago. It was Cody Hicks, myself, and Jesse Wilson. We got together one night, and 1027 Studios is what Jesse always called it.
1027, yo.
Right. And I had this guitar riff for like 7 years, and we couldn't figure anything out it. And after Cody came by and Jesse, us three got together, we wrote the song. And Cody ended up taking it down to Nashville and recorded it at Saxman Studios. and it's out now wherever
Okay.
you stream music.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm a co-writer to this one, and we're very proud of this one.
Okay.
And this one's Pouring Whiskey Over My Heart. Is what it's
All
called.
right. Here is Iowa's Scott Kirkhart. Give it up for Scott here on our Iowa Music Showcase.
Woke up on the floor, head pounding Sunday morning with an empty bottle of Jack. I stumbled through the house in a haze. I was trying to figure out where I was at. Don't know what I did, but with all these messages, she ain't ever coming back. Can't take all this pain, so I just shut off my brain with a brand new 12-pack. If you wanna leave me, when I leave me a bottle of Jack. And if you don't need me, then I don't need you to ever come back. And if you wanna see me, and I'll be sitting at the end of the bar, filling up my soul, pouring whiskey over my heart. Bartender, leave the bottle, I'ma sit here and think till it don't burn anymore. I'm sure you've heard the same old story 1,000 times before. This was the last time, well, she finally made up her mind, walked right out the door. Yeah, you better believe if she walks in here tonight, this is what I'm gonna tell her. If you wanna leave me, well, leave me a bottle of Jack. And if you don't need me, then I don't need you to ever come back. And if you wanna see me, and I'll be sitting at the end of the bar, filling up my soul, pouring whiskey over my heart. Oh yeah. When I pour me something strong. Pour me one for everything I did wrong. If you wanna leave me a bottle of Jack. And if you don't need me, well, I need you to kiss my ass. If you wanna see me, and I'll be sitting at the end of the bar, filling up my soul, pouring whiskey over my, filling up my soul, pouring whiskey over my, filling up my soul, pouring whiskey over my heart.
Hey, that is Iowa's Scott Kirkhart on our Iowa Music Showcase. We're live at Barnwired. Are we on a 10-second delay? You're going to drop bad words, pal.
Beep. I think that's the only one I got for you today, Steve. Just one. You
We
come
can
tonight,
handle it.
might be a little different show, but
A little bit more colorful.
Yes, yes.
Scott Kirkhart hanging out on our Iowa Music Showcase. So we kind of we got to know all about your hometown, but let's get to know you a little bit better. How long have you been doing country music or just music in general?
Well, I started in high school. I was a 3-time state jazz band drummer,
Oh, really?
and then I went to college and played drums. And then all of a sudden one day I was just like, I'm done. I don't. Drummers never got any girls. Sorry, Neil.
I know a drummer.
So I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, it was after 9/11. A buddy of mine, he was, they grounded all the planes. Nobody was flying at the time, and he was stuck in Florida. And he calls me. He says, if I get home, let's buy guitars and learn how to play guitars. Okay. And I thought, all right. So and I've been doing it ever since. I raised my babies and worked full time. And next thing you know, I started playing in a band. And then, music found me again. And if I
Okay.
would, like I told her earlier, if you would have told me 20 years ago that I was going to play music full time, I would have
Yeah.
told you were
Yeah.
crazy. But here I am.
That was my next question, because you said earlier you were working for FedEx at the time, but you are now a full-time musician.
I've been a full-time musician for almost 2 years now. Which
Wow.
Is, yep.
That is very cool.
I'm living a dream.
Yeah.
You know? I'm blessed to be here, and I'm very blessed to get to do what I get to do for a living. And
Yeah. Have you always done like country music, or were you ever like a rock and roll guy?
I'm
Or are you
40,
still a
I'm
rock and roll
47
guy?
years old, so I like a lot of 80s hair bands, and I like I like some of the 90s Nirvana and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But 90s country kicked in right then too, right? So you had Garth Brooks, and you had Brooks and Dunn, and Reba, and all, and
Yeah.
Toby Keith, and all these guys, and that was a pretty good time to grow up in, because
Yeah.
country music was really good, rock and roll was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good, and here we are.
Yeah.
Still
if
doing
if you're singing karaoke, what is your go-to like rock song?
I don't sing karaoke.
Yeah, you probably don't have time to sing karaoke.
Usually somebody wants. No, I don't really. But if I'm going to do one, probably like 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20 or something.
Oh, that gets just some oohs and ahs from the crowd. All right. Again, Scott Kirkhart on our Iowa Music Showcase. Do you mind? I know I did an interview with you probably late last year. I can't remember when we did that for sure. But we were talking about, you had quite the accident, the car accident.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. When did that occur?
It was right after Ragbri. I played in Ragbri at Carroll. I was on my 6th day of playing.
Okay.
It was hot, 105 degrees. And my van that I had at the time, my old Chevy, didn't have air conditioning in it.
Okay.
And I just kind of fell asleep at the wheel, and I went off the T intersection and into the air and over top of the corn and landed and broke my back and sat in the hospital for 2.5 weeks.
I mean, there's more to the story. I mean, that's just kind of the short
oh, yeah,
story.
that's the short
But
story,
you actually, did you drive yourself to the hospital?
I drove myself home.
All right.
I didn't. I knew something was really seriously wrong.
But yet you still.
And I laid in my van for the night, right? And it was and I was trying to tell Tammy. Tammy was trying to come and she was trying to find me, but I went over top of the corn and into the corn, and they couldn't see where I went into the corn at all.
So there was no indentation where you went in.
None at all.
Okay.
So it was in the morning. It got a little hot, and I told myself right then and there, if I don't get out of this cornfield, I'm going to die in this cornfield.
Yeah.
And I got back in the front seat, and my van started, and I backed out of the corn and onto the highway, and I patted her on the dash and said, "Get me home one more time." And I got home, and the wheels are pointing out. How I made it home from where I was at, I have no idea.
Wow.
And then my neighbor called the ambulance, and I sat there, and I had my last cigarette laying in my driveway, and I haven't touched one since.
Oh, really?
No, yeah. So
And of course,
so it's been 7 months without a
The
cigarette.
promo pic that I used for this
as
week
a
was
cigarette hanging in my mouth. Yeah, I was like, but whatever. That's a cool picture.
So yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's a miracle that you're alive and you're here today.
Yeah, I'm pretty blessed to have a second chance.
And you're a pretty burly dude, and you got obviously a thick neck and
football. What do you say? A football build? Is that what you're trying to say?
you're a big birdie, man.
I'm fluffy. Leave me alone.
But I'm assuming,
I like to cuddle, Steve.
well, I mean, they've got really, really comfy blankets over here that we can cuddle with during this next song. But no,
Neil's gonna get the
Neil
blanket.
is getting one of the comfy blankets.
It is soft.
Oh, it is. It is. Oh,
That's nice.
there. You don't want to touch it. Did you want to put it on your cheek?
No.
We're promoting the blankets. They are very comfortable.
They are. They're really nice. I like that one right there. That one looks like a cow.
I was gonna say, I was gonna go like this and say, hey, I came from the old country just to be here today. Anyway,
Wow.
we have soiled that blanket.
Where did that go?
Nobody is ever gonna buy that blanket. Let's get out of what I'm doing and do some music, shall we?
No, I'm kind of enjoying it now, really.
Comedy hour. Let's do another original tune, shall we?
All right, I'll do. This one is kind of a hard one still for me to get through.
All right.
But I had a best friend pass away last March 15th, I think is what it was. He got killed in a farming accident.
Oh, wow.
And his name was Buck. His name was Clay Bleem, and everybody called him Buck. I mean, and everybody knew him. And he was the best friend to everybody. One of those, he literally came to all my kids' birthdays, parties growing up. We went to Hawkeye games, 14 Jimmy Buffett concerts together. You know, I mean, he was just a huge music lover. He has a campground in his backyard called Buckville.
Okay.
And so it was just kind of a sad deal. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting in my garage one night, and I was just messing around, you know, on the guitar, and I was thinking about him, and the song came out, and I'm glad I hit record on my phone because I probably would have never remembered it. Really, I mean, and I did. So it's out anywhere you stream music. It's called Old Friend. All right. This one's still kind of a hard one for me to get through too. So bear with me if I get a little teary-eyed. All right.
Yeah. Scott Kirkhart on our Iowa Music Showcase.
Hey, old friend, got my windows down, and I'm on your gravel road that leads me east to town. Hey, old friend, could I pick you up? We could drive around and drink some beers and smoke that funny stuff. There's so much I gotta tell you, there's so much to talk about, but you're not here with me right now. God had a bigger plan, I hope, and I just don't understand why he takes the good ones first. All I know, he took an angel here on earth. He sure did. Hey, old friend, where did you go? I know you're in a better place with the streets all paved in gold. Hey, old friend, I'll sure miss you. And I'll do my best to make you proud, and that's all that I can do. There's so much I gotta tell you, there's so much to talk about, but you're not here with me right now. God had a bigger plan, I hope, and I just don't understand why it takes the good ones first. And all I know, he took an angel here on earth. This song's for anybody who's ever lost anybody, right? We all have that one person in our life. There's so much I gotta tell you, there's so much to talk about, but you're not here with me right now. God had a bigger plan, I hope, and I just don't understand why it takes the good ones first. And all I know, he took an angel here on earth. All I know, he took an angel here on earth. There you go.
Awesome job. That is Iowa's Scott Kirkhart here on our Iowa Music Showcase. We're live from Barnwired in Sigourney, coming up on the lunch hour. Make sure you get in here for some lunch. Jim will be cooking up some good stuff in the kitchen and some coffee, do some shopping as well. Scott Kirkhart with us today. And Scott, let's do 5 random questions.
Oh, I've been dreading these
You've
things.
been dreading. It's not. By the way, I want to shout out. We've got Lee Klett here in the building.
over there.
Lee Klett. Oh, he's
that's a nice looking shirt
dude,
you got there too.
I like that shirt. I want one of those.
I'll get you one of them.
Yeah,
I'll get you one.
Let's do it. Let's see here. 5 random questions. Number 1. These are pretty easy today. Who do you talk to the most? Who is your go-to when you need to have a conversation?
Tammy.
Tammy. And who's Tammy?
Tammy is my significant other.
Okay.
She's She's the wild one in my life, let me tell you.
That's because you're kind of a wild guy too, so
Well,
that's kind of scary.
We can be, right? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Question 2. What was this should be easy for you. What was the last thing you created? I mean, that could be a song. And we've got a baby in the
I
background.
didn't. Definitely did not create it. No. Last thing I created was probably a guitar riff last night.
Yeah. And was that during the writers round?
Yeah, we just started just jamming. So.
Okay. All right. That'll work. Question 3. What is your best vacation ever?
Oh, well, we probably Mexico. We like to go to Mexico in the wintertime. That's about the only 2 weeks of our life that Tammy gets me without a guitar.
All right.
And so that's kind of our time. We go down with friends, and we didn't go this year, obviously, for other reasons. But every time we go down there, we go deep sea fishing. We all inclusive, and it's just we went to Puerto Vallarta and Cozumel, and they've been. Those are great vacations. Go.
All right. Question. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love it, or you're gonna really hate it. Would you pose nude for your favorite charity?
Absolutely, I would. Yes, we have. We're gonna. If I remember right, I think we're gonna do a Musicians of Iowa calendar. Royce Johns is kind of putting it together, and we're gonna have Lee Klett and me and leaning against it like a truck or something like that.
Some short shorts, Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
The baby likes that.
See?
And then question 5, let's see here. What things do you do for fun when you are broke? So when you're broke, which hopefully is not often or ever, what do you do for fun when you're low on funds?
Go out to the lake. Go fishing.
All right. Yeah. You're
I
a
don't
fisherman?
get you very often,
Yeah.
but I love to go fishing. I just
Okay.
don't. I love deep sea fishing when we're down in the south. I love going up the Bogie and playing and fishing up there. And
Yeah.
I usually try to get at least once or twice a year.
Okay.
That's about all I can get out. But
All right.
man, I do enjoy it.
Yeah. All right.
Quiet.
So those are your 5 questions with Scott Kirkhart. Speaking of Okoboji, we'll give a plug for the MCMO, Midwest Country Music Organization.
Absolutely.
I know probably a few of us here in attendance are going to be going up to Okoboji later on this year. They've got their award show. You've been involved with the Midwest Country Music Organization now for a little while.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Your just general thoughts on the MCMO?
It's an amazing thing for musicians to have an outlet in order to meet other musicians and network with them and collab with them. And if it wasn't for the MCMO, we wouldn't have that. We'd still be just around here, Yeah. And people that that's how I met Lee and a lot of really good friends of mine. It was through the Midwest MCMO, and it's top notch. Nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah.
It's a family.
Yeah. So if country music musicians want to get in that network, I think it's just like $50 for a membership.
$50 a year, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's $80 for 2 years. They're doing something.
Okay.
Or they were a long
All
time
right,
ago.
all right. So yeah, and fan, anybody can be a member. So check that out if you want more on the Midwest Country Music Organization. They've got their award show at Okoboji. Where's the venue at?
Riff Garden in Arnold's Park.
Okay.
April 27th.
Yeah, comes up at the end of April. So make that trip to Okoboji. See some great artists from all around the Midwest, not just here in Iowa, not just in Minnesota, but they've got Wisconsin.
South Dakota.
Yep, the Dakotas are involved there. So lots of people from all over the Midwest.
And you meet a really, really, really good musicians. I mean,
Yeah.
incredible. And if you get a chance to go to it, the whole night's full of music.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's top notch.
Yeah, you're probably going to be scratching your head saying, how are these people not, well known or outside of the Midwest?
And we're all duded up. We got our good garb on, our tuxes on, and the ladies are all wearing evening gowns, and and it's just something really fun to do. Yeah. Well, if Neil was here,
I might drag Neil to the award show.
You
with
should.
me. Him and I will go.
Then
as a
we'll
couple.
drag him to captains afterwards.
It'll be a lot of fun. Oh man, let's do one more song and get out of here. Let's eat some because I'm getting hungry. And we're gonna have Jim make us up something good in the kitchen. What do you got for us for a last song today?
Well, this is another one that I just released on social media, all my social media. We made a video live at Forte Studios. So if it's on Facebook, TikTok, it's on Instagram, Scott Kirkhart Music. Go to kirkhartmusic.com. Check that out too.
Yeah. Is this the one that I played here not too long ago on my musical musings segment?
I don't know. Did you?
All right. Whatever. Yeah. I can't remember the name of the song.
Bad Decisions.
Possibly.
This was written by Cody and me and Jesse again, and we're men, right? We make some pretty bad decisions in our life sometimes.
Yeah. That's part of the man experience, isn't it?
It is. And I was never scared of the law enforcement growing up. I was scared of my father.
Yeah.
Right? So this song's about how we make bad decisions.
All right. Scott Kirkhart on our Iowa Music Showcase.
When I was a young man, couldn't make my daddy proud. So I learned how to drink and how to get loud. Raised hell just like him, but it was never enough. He'd always complain that I screwed something up. And I ain't surprised that I turned out like him. When that's what you're taught, hey, that's what you get. When you dance with the devil, you never can win. Oh, I drank more than I should drink, smoked my mind silly, used my nose to speed up my brain. Poured fuel on the bridge and I flicked my cigarette, and I watched it all go up in flames. Swallowed pills that weren't mine, slept around on my wife. If it all went to hell, hell I did it. I've always been real damn good making bad decisions. I always have been. Check this out. I go from life of the party to looking to fight. After a bottle of Beam, it's always Jekyll and Hyde. Been on top of the world, and I've had everything. Just like he taught me, hell, I pissed it away. I tried and I tried, but no matter what I did, I was always bound to end up just like him. Oh, I was. I drank more than I should drink, smoked my mind silly, used my nose to speed up my brain. Poured fuel on the bridge and I flicked my cigarette, and I watched it all go up in flames. Swallowed pills that weren't mine, slept around on my wife. If it all went to hell, hell, I did it. Oh, I've always been real damn good making bad decisions. I ain't surprised that I turned out like him. When that's what you're taught, hey, that's what you get. When you dance with the devil, you never can win. Right, Lee Clutt? I drank more than I should drink, smoked my mind silly, used my nose to speed up my brain. Poured the fuel on the bridge and I flicked my cigarette, and I watched it all go up in flames. Swallowed pills that weren't mine, had 2 or 3 wives. If it all went to hell, hell, I did it. Well, I've always been real damn good. I've always been real damn good. I've always been real damn good at making bad decisions.
Hey.
There we go.
There's Scott Kirkhart on our Iowa Music Showcase. Again, we're live at Barn Wired. Scott, thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Finally got together.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, finally did it, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you at the award show.
Absolutely.
Up in Okoboji.
Absolutely.
Okoboji here in just less than 2 months now. So get in here to Barn Wired. They've got their lunch specials. They've got coffee. They've got stuff to buy. They've got comfy blankets that are obviously soft to the touch. So get in here. Follow Scott. Scott, where are you? You're on Facegram.
Wow. The Facebook. Yes, I'm on the Facebook.
You're on MySpace.
No, Oregon Trail.
Where are you at online?
Go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that jive. It's Scott Kirkhart Music, KIRKHART, or go to kirkhartmusic.com.
Okay. Download. Always promote downloading. Yeah, you can stream, but the downloads always get the artist
We like them all.
a little bit more money.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 5 billion streams to make $1.
Yeah.
So download it, buy the music, and support